Hey world, this is Cree 21 Boom coming at y'all impromptu like I enjoy doing. I had a last minute want to go live session. I'm also going to be live tomorrow on my guest podcast. So if you don't catch us here today or tonight, you'll catch us tomorrow. And I'll let him introduce himself and he can tell you about his podcast as well. But today we're going to be talking about relationship deal breakers. Um, just things that you'd have to be cohesive with your partner for it to be a good, successful relationship, in our opinion, of course. Uh, and things that you know if you do to certain people, it's a deal breaker. So we're gonna talk about a few of those things, and y'all can tell us if y'all agree, disagree, don't care. Either way, we're gonna talk about it. So, my guest, Mr. Faline, go ahead and introduce yourself.
How's everybody going? My name is Falon McKnight with the PM Lifestyle Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, and all those great platforms that we have. And I've been here with Cree. This is my second appearance. So a lot of conversations that she have on her platform is very, very interesting and open, non-opinionated. And, it's a great place to voice your opinion. So I'm here again, back to back.
And he's single, ladies. Just letting y'all know. And look,
All single?
yeah. Anywho's, we're gonna get right into it, and we're gonna talk about relationships. And so, you're not in a relationship. You have been married before, though, right? I don't quite
Correct.
remember all of your story.
Yeah, I was for maybe 5 of 10, so five together, five separate.
Oh, okay.
Crazy,
But
right?
you was with her 5 years before you married her,
No, I have been on her for a long time. I have been on her for at least since '96, maybe.
but married only once.
Married only once. Yeah, one
Okay, so I've
opportunity.
been married twice. Sometimes, do you believe that marriage is for everybody? Like, you think that's the goal? Should be the end goal when you get involved? And when you tell me what you think, I want you to base it off of what you think now. I want us to stay present because we
Oh
can
yeah,
get
for
lost
sure.
in what we used to think to what we think now. Because I'm sure
Yeah,
we all used to think differently when we were younger, and then we get older and mature, have kids. So we think differently now.
yeah. I think it's for everybody. I hear a lot of people saying that it's not, but I really just think that they haven't found that person that might have um, caught their interest into becoming one on one. I hear a lot of people say it's not for me, but it's only for monetary issues. It's not for like, um, oh, they're just not into it. It's just like, oh, I don't want to get divorced and give my wife half of what I have or a portion of what they own. And it's from the male's perspective. I've never heard it from a woman unless she's been married before.
Have you heard a woman say it's not for her?
Only if she's been divorced. Um, that second round is never the first round. I think every woman's dream is to get married at least once. I've never seen any female ever say that, I don't want to get married. Unless, nah, it was never.
Unless they're gay, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to
Even
say
the
that,
gay
but
ones want
yeah.
to get married to.
I've been watching Drewski of Love, so a lot of them were saying they were
What
studs in
is
this.
Drewski of Love? What is that?
Drewski, he has a show, man. It's kind of like Flavor of Love, but he's doing it on his
Oh,
own in his own way. You know what I'm saying? So like he doesn't. It's smart. It's a genius move because he's not using a network to stop him from what he's doing. So right now he's using a smart way to use YouTube to make his own way
mm,
into this game.
like
So
it.
he started off with like could have been records, and then from there he's made it to Drewski of Love. So he's just carrying on the
But who is this person
platform.
we talking about? I'm sorry,
Dru-
just so the world can know.
Drewski is I would say he's a what do you call like a internet sensation or internet personality,
I
social
like to
media
think I'm the
personality.
internet.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna say you're not, but
Is it on a large scale though?
he's on
Because
a
I don't never
larger
heard of the
scale.
person.
Yeah, he's on a
Okay,
larger
let me write
scale.
that down
So
so I can go check him out.
you've
Look at you
seen him on
promoting
a Super
somebody
Bowl
else. I love it.
halftime show. You might have seen him in Drake's video. Um, he's been on a couple of
I ain't
like
watching
internet
Drake's
movies and
video.
stuff like that. But I think he's based kind of like basing it out of Atlanta. So if you can, just go check out Drewski's Could Have Been Love House. And
Could have been Love House. What
yeah,
is
Could Have Been Love and Could Have Been Records. So like he's doing like a flavor of love type thing, right? So he took a
mhm.
bunch of studs and put them in the house. But he says he's doing studs because he's looking for love, but they can wear the same clothes. So you can imagine what kind of craziness he's going through on this show. So he has like different women from
But the
everywhere.
love he's looking for is from a stud?
That's why you need to tap in and watch it because it's crazy. He's saying that, but he's a comedian, so you really don't know if he's
Oh,
serious
he's
or
been
not.
funny for real.
Yeah, he's really crazy, but it's a genius move the way that he has taken the networks out of everything. He has a lot of sponsors. He has
Mm.
Canes, Nike. It's probably going to be the future of like social media and YouTube. I mean, like people just getting on there and getting their own show without the
Oh,
network.
okay, I like
So we're
that, yeah.
pushing out the network, and he's the
Right.
first of a kind of his kind to do it. So I really think he's genius. So I'm studying. I probably have some things in the works myself.
Okay,
Trying to
I
figure
see
trying to
it.
figure it out. I done linked up with a couple of TV people, not TV people, like behind the scene producers and stuff. So
Mhm.
we're gonna see.
Okay.
I'm
So
trying.
being connected to you is a good thing.
Yeah, it's always a good thing.
Y'all hear that, ladies?
I'm a good spirit. I mean no one no harm. I mean no one no harm. Innocent.
Too funny. Okay, let's talk about the first thing I have is far as relationship is core values and beliefs.
Mhm.
Um, like different life goals. Do you want kids? You don't want kids? Like, how huge is that in the success of a relationship? Let me turn this phone on. Sorry.
I
Jeez,
mean, it
Louise.
can be major. Like I have a client right now, and she's really on it. Like she's dating. She's later on. She's maybe in her 30s. But right now, on her first date, she's asking guys like, "Do you want kids? Do you want children?" What I mean? And she has a list of things that she's looking for in a man. And if it's, I like it because she's upfront. And if it's not what she's looking for, she's friend zoning you immediately.
That's interesting. Ladies, do y'all have a list? I'm not gonna even lie. I had a list, and it's like that fairy tale land. I don't think one person is gonna fit
And
that list
what was
that
that?
I
What was
have.
3 things that was on your list, Cree?
Three things. As a
Yeah,
matter
your
of fact,
top
I
three.
have my list right here. Hold on.
Oh, there we go.
Hold up. Hmm. I think I got my list in my
Something
notes.
that was on your
My
list. See if it's
notes.
achievable. Somebody out there can help you with this
Not my grocery list, but
one. At least if you have a grocery list, that means you know how to throw down in the kitchen.
not necessarily. But I do know how to cook. But I don't think a grocery list means you know how to throw down in the kitchen.
Man,
That
I know
means you
some
went in your
women.
refrigerator and the things you wanted, you needed, you
I
wrote
know
down.
some women that do not cook.
Really? How do they
Yes,
eat? They eat out all the
out,
time.
out, and it's mandatory that they're not gonna cook. It's known that they say
What do
they're
you
not
mean it's
gonna have it.
mandatory?
They're not gonna cook. And I'm serious about this.
That is interesting. It
Very,
must be
very.
those women that get flew out.
Well, I don't know about that one, but
Because I had a girl tell me and my friends when we were at a party,
mm,
she was like, I'm better than all of y'all. And we was like, what?
she
You
come up with
gotta
that.
elaborate. That's what I said.
Yeah,
You gotta elaborate. And I could tell she had like a
that was a
butt
good one.
job.
Oh, so she was selling her assets basically.
Yeah, absolutely. She was like, I have men. Here goes my list right here. She
I think
she was
that's
like, I
nasty.
have men that fly me out. This was like her argument. And I'm like, you're better than us because somebody paid for a plane ticket so that you can fly to them and what?
That's interesting.
And she was drunk, but still, she was saying some weird things. So I'm
You
gonna
know
tell
what?
you the top three things on my my list, and I'm not lying. I'm not making this up, y'all. This was my list right here, and it's very unrealistic to think that one person would have all these qualities. So what I did was, let me tell y'all something, audience. So instead of looking for the person to have those qualities, I myself am making sure that I have all these qualities. Now, a lot of y'all know that I was definitely in a relationship, and I'm no longer in that relationship, and I'm saying that live now. Everybody hear me. And let me play this little music. So y'all feel sad for me, okay? Even though I'm smiling, because I'm gonna smile regardless. I need y'all to feel sad for me. Now I say all that to say the three things from my list. The first thing, the very top thing is be of good character. Let
That's
me
not
talk
hard.
about being of good character, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about me because the guy I was dealing with was very good to me, but he was shitty to everybody else. That means only a matter of time before he'll be shitty to me, right? And I'm
Well, maybe
smart enough to
it
know
ain't you.
that.
Maybe it
If
might
you
not ever
ever
be you.
if you are ever disrespectful to your parents, I am not going to
Oh
be
no.
your friend.
Hey,
If you
that's
are not a good friend to your friends,
that's another one.
I have a problem with that too. So like be of good character. That's me, I'm of good character. Somebody might not agree with that, but my friends are not going to ever call me a shitty friend. I can tell you that. My
Nah, you
family
was
is
going down the right
always,
street with that.
huh?
You was going down the right street with that. I mean,
Okay.
those the main people in your life. If it's a female that doesn't have any friends and she's disrespectful to her mother or he is disrespectful, that's guaranteed. Who
That's
will
a
you
big
respect?
sign. That's one of those deal breakers. Okay. And
Yeah.
yes, we are talking about specifically my life and his life. But if you have a sense, good sense and good judgment, it's probably for your life too. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Or
Number two, respect. And it goes with the character because if you don't have respect for yourself, you're not going to have respect for others. And if you respect somebody else and don't respect yourself, don't even make sense. So, respect for others. You treat the cab driver just like you treat the president of a company. Like you just respect people and they hustle,
Mhm.
period. Like I'm huge on that. Like I don't like the waiters, the waitresses at the bars. Like I believe in tipping because I'm in the hair business. Speaking of which, Fallon is a barber. I did not know that. And I'm a
Yeah,
cosmetologist. Although I don't really like doing hair. I have a couple of clients, but that's it. I don't really like doing hair anymore. It's not my
I didn't
passion
even know
anymore.
that.
I know that's what I'm saying. When you took well,
That's
actually
why.
I saw you at your workplace.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I do hair, but I don't really do hair. I'll just say that. I have a couple clients though. They come to my house. And then the third one, and I'm just picking one out of all the many ones I have on here. I'm gonna say sense of humor. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a big adult kid myself a lot of the time, probably 90% of the time. Like the other 10%, I might be serious. And even in my seriousness, I'm probably joking somewhere in there at some point. So if you don't have a sense of humor and you just like rigid and don't
Too
find
serious.
anything funny, like, you cannot live in this life without laughter. I can tell you that
Yeah.
now. You're going to be sad, depressed all the time if you don't find something that's going to bring you joy. And that's my three. And now that I gave three, Mr. Fallon, you must give three things that is a must in your woman of choice. Y'all
Must.
listen up, ladies.
Oh, this gonna be easy. You have to be a thinker. I need you to be able to process things. You know what I mean? And that's number one. Because if you can't think, then I'm thinking for you, then you're taking away from what the progress that I can even
Mm,
provide for you. Because now you're all over the place. Number two would be patience. I need you have to have patience. That is number two on my list. That's a major thing. Like it has to be because if you're not patient enough to process things and you're jumping on the first thing that comes to your mind, then you're gonna have a lot of things that might need to be corrected. You know what I'm saying?
who's
And
going to be the corrector?
I mean, if you have patience enough to figure these things out, you want there's no corrections needed because you're gonna take time to process this stuff to make sure everything is okay. You know what I mean? You might
Give
say,
me an
okay, these are
example.
three things. Let me, huh?
Give me an example if you don't mind.
Like what would be a good example? Great example would be like of patience. Say something pops up, like something with your vehicle. or something like
Mhm.
that. And you just go, you just see the first mechanic, and you just go instead of just going through the list of people and all that. You just know I got to get it fixed, and you just go jump on the first person, and he charges you $600. But you didn't have enough patience to say, well, let me go through a list of people to, weigh my options out to make sure I'm making a great decision. And then you go spend 600, $700 on something like that without even calling anybody, calling any million or any other people that might can refer you to a cheaper option. You know what I'm saying? To help you out, save you some money and things like that. Just real small things can lead to a big problem if you're not patient enough to think.
Are you frugal? Are you frugal with your money? Are you
Nah.
like a frugal shopper? Because
Well,
sometimes with that example, now I know a lot of women that, especially if they're not knowledgeable about vehicles,
mhm.
I always advise them to call their male friend if they're single. So I have been guilty, and I know I've got plenty of times at mechanics and stuff like that for that simple reason. So that is actually that's a good example, also a good thing to share amongst women. So if y'all, while he's speaking, he's speaking. Y'all need y'all to take this from this. If y'all have issues with y'all vehicle or anything from around the house, because I've had issues around my house,
Mhm.
and thank God I have people that I can trust to do the right thing. If y'all have these type of issues and you're single, you don't have a man, then you might want to do a different what. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you tell them what should they do, Fallon.
I just shoot. Call some of the men in your family. Ask around. Give it a second. I mean, it's not a mandatory thing that it's just gonna blow up instantly or something like that. It's not gonna be detrimental to your life. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that you search around because, like she said, some mechanics are looking for women to come in there so they can talk about some things that they might not know and act like it's more serious than what it is, and then take advantage of you. That's no different than yeah, it just take your time, you know what I'm saying? It's just one avenue. Call around, look around, even if you don't have call somebody else's man or your girl or your homegirl or your friend
We
and
call
see what
nobody
her
else
man can do
man.
for her.
Hold on now.
Nah, just
Don't be advising them to call nobody else,
no,
man. Hold on now.
call the woman and ask the man, can
There
she
you go.
refer you to something else? The
There is an
safe one.
order in things. We talking
Yeah,
healthy
yeah.
relationship. There is an order
Yeah,
in things. And I was gonna say that like I'm having an issue with like my garage opener right now. And I really just wanted to call the people who put it in to fix it or whatever. And it could be
yeah.
something so small and simple. But like I called one of my guy friends, he was like, just hold on, let me check and look, because I'll be impatient about
Ready to
stuff
go.
and I want to get it fixed right away.
And it can be something simple. It can be a sensor.
Right.
It can be just
Right.
it needs some oil. It can be a little simple thing. But if you
That's
call
that's
that
good
dude
advice.
and he can come run out, then all of a sudden he gonna wow, she doesn't know because she's calling me now. I can charge her. I can hit her over there for the price.
Service
Take
charge.
advantage of you.
hmm
Because you're not going home with the first man that buy you drinks at the club, right?
I ain't going home with no man that buy me drinks at the club.
No, I'm just saying in general. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So yeah, I
well,
see
in
this people
general, I'm not
yeah,
going
yeah.
home.
Like, oh, I didn't bought
In
a drink
general, I'm
for you.
not going home with
It
no man
belonged
that
to
buy
me.
me
Like, nah, you gotta weigh them things out. I mean.
nope. Sorry, I
And
might buy
don't
him
take
a
no
drink
drinks
back.
from a man at the club. Don't leave your drink open at the club. Please don't.
Do you know somebody that something happened to?
Yeah, a couple of times, like some women have left their drinks open at the table, unattended, and some things have happened. Yeah. If you
I heard
can,
that
put that
was a
little
lady.
napkin over it with the straw and put it on there, have somebody watch it for you. Even when you're in presence of this drink, make sure you put that napkin over it.
Oh my God, are they just like reaching over now and doing stuff?
Oh
I
man,
don't
don't
even go
sprinkle
out by
that stuff
myself.
on you.
I I don't go out by myself. We have like a whole team of I watch you, you watch me.
Oh,
And
it's good.
my mom told us that from a very young age because it happened to her to never
Mhm.
let like watch them make your drink. Even the people that's making your drink, she's like watch them because sometimes they're in cahoots with somebody else and then slip them some money and like, hey, whatever. Like yeah, don't trust nobody. That's what that sounds like. And we getting off topic. So that was the second thing. It was be a thinker, which I love that. Thinking on your own and not
Patient.
conforming to societal norms. I got to say that. And the number two was patience. You got to have patience.
Have patience. Just like
So
a
we on the
hospital.
number three
Patience,
now.
patience. Number three would be trust. If I can't trust you, then we don't have anything. And that's my
Mm.
main thing. I'm talking about from the little white, what they be consider white lies. Don't rock with me. The I'm just playing. No, I need you to tell me what it is at that moment, so we can work this thing out. And the more I can trust you, the further we gonna go. Guarantee.
Have you ever met anybody who didn't lie or tell a story or an omission of a lie? Or I don't think there's a human being on planet Earth that does not either play, jokingly lie, or just tell a lie, like whether it's small or big. Do you think they all? So I had this argument with my ex. He said, "A lie is a lie is a lie is a lie," and I'm like, "No. If you tell me you didn't eat McDonald's on the way home, that's not going to affect my life at all." But you got two kids that live in Arkansas. I need to know about that. Like
Oh,
those
yeah, that's
don't even
major.
weigh the same, huh?
That's major. 2 kids in Arkansas
Exactly.
versus
But
McDonald's.
he wants me to believe a lie is just a lie is just a lie. No,
I mean,
no.
they say it that way, but I'm saying, like, in the fact that if you say, like, "Hey, I left, your car," you look out the window and say, "Oh, your car is going out the driveway." If it's followed by, "I'm just playing," then that's a joke. You see what I'm saying? But when you're trying to get off of little white lies, or then you try to turn it on me like I didn't understand what you were saying, then that's a problem. I can clearly, and you know
All
the professional I
manipulation.
mean. I have at least 20 people a day, and that's gonna be at least 120 a week that I see, right? If I can remember all their stories, I can guarantee you remember what you're telling me because I'm paying attention to you more. So I need to have trust in you that you can tell me the truth the first time. And it goes along with the patience and the, what I mean, the understanding thing is that I'm going to be understanding to whatever the case may be, even if it cuts hard, hurts hard. I'm still gonna
Oh, so you
understand.
can
Tell
handle the
me,
truth?
yeah, because that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
I would rather the truth, don't
Hey, I heard a lot of men say that they don't tell the women the truth because they can't handle the truth.
that's just another way of telling a lie. Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
Like on Baby Boy, I tell you to lie, but I love them,
Right. Because I
Yeah,
love
nah,
you.
nah, love you, I don't wanna hurt you, girl,
Is there
nah.
some truth in that?
Man, you tell me the
You out
truth.
here
I don't
lying
know
to
about
the
that.
other women, but or
Man,
you
look,
telling them the truth, but you lie to
Imma
her
tell
because you
you,
love her and you don't want to
you
hurt her.
you know the rule is it's harder to remember your lie than it's easy to remember the truth.
The
Imma tell
truth
it to
does
you if it
not
hurts you.
change.
It does not change, it's very consistent. So I'm gonna tell you the truth. Because one thing about it, what you gonna do? Give me what you don't have to deal with it. You can either dismiss me or take it in. Either way it go, you had your truth. You don't have to go digging for it, pulling teeth, none of that. You got it.
Have you watched the Neo videos here lately? He was talking about how much stress he alleviated because he's being honest with women and giving them the choice of whether or not to be a part of what he himself has created for his
Mhm.
own. I love that. Like
I
I love that.
I can see it
He
being
was like,
easier.
it's so much peaceful now instead of lying on top of lie. And this is one of the things I dealt with my ex as well. Like I said, I can tell you lying. He's like, how do you know I'm lying? How do you? I said, because it keeps changing. Your story keeps changing.
Or you keep changing, see.
The truth remains the same. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to go look, search for it. It remains. If you're telling the truth, it does not change. The lies, they change. Your story changed from this to that. And then when I remember, it's like, I didn't remember. Now you calling me crazy. I didn't say that. It changes all the
See, I just
time.
said that. When they lie, they always try to say that you didn't hear part of the story.
Mhm. That's
Yeah.
manipulation at its
Yeah.
best.
And if I
So,
know if I'm
but those are pretty
listening to
cute.
all those people, I know I can tell what you told me what you told me. You know what I mean? I can recite that again.
So give me your opinion on the Neo thing. What do you think about that?
I
You
think it
lived
is
that
gonna
life
bring in
already,
peace.
didn't you?
Yes, I did. That's all I know is gonna bring in peace. What do you have to cover up? Nothing. Everybody's right there in the front. Everybody's in the same position every day,
He was
in the
like, I
same
go out with
household.
he give him 7 days. I think did he say it was three? I think he's like, I'm with this one 7 days, that one 7 days, this one 7 days. And sometimes we go out together. I'm like,
So
wow.
he's dividing everybody up to separate.
He separates them and then when they have dates together, he said. So he's like, I gave it because he said everybody wants their own individual time. And that's how he do it.
So
And I'm
his
like,
might be different.
I was in a sort of a situation like that, but we kind of had like Tuesday, Thursday,
See,
and
that's hard to
Sunday
keep
were
up
my
with.
days.
That
Huh?
that's hard to keep up with right there.
It
The
was
days and
Tuesday
then
we would do
times.
Taco Tuesday. Thursday we would go to this bar restaurant thing, so it was just like that. We don't get tired of each other. So we would spend 3 days a week, and uh, whatever outside of that, if we wanted to, we didn't. Whatever we want to do, if I want to go with somebody else and he wanna, it was fine. We just make sure we kept our time, our time. So I kind of understand that dynamic.
Man, it
So
was 7 days a week. We
that's
all shopped, ate, everything together.
time. That's just
It was
way too
just
much time.
it was
That's
it
like a
was
marriage, 7 days a week.
I mean, we all living in the same place, so where else is somebody else gonna go?
So you were providing for all of these ladies.
We were providing for each other. Let's just say that.
Okay, so it was like a village. I like
It
it.
was a village,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. You no longer do that.
No longer, yeah. Now, you know, what's so crazy, the hardest thing is trying to prevent going back into that mode because you like, I can't get all of this from one person. I might need to go grab some here and grab some there. So that's what I'm dealing with now. It's like
And that's the
trying to make
reality.
sure, like, I need to make sure that one person now is fit to handle all those things. Because sometimes it can be too much for one person. The requirements.
Sometimes,
Hmm? Sometimes,
sometimes no, all the time. Let me tell you,
yeah.
I don't think one person, so obviously I'm thinking for myself. I don't think one person can fulfill my desires and needs. Now, I'm a woman, obviously, men gonna look at me sideways. Hell, I'm sure women gonna look at me sideways. But if you're being honest, completely honest with yourself, one person is not gonna fulfill all your needs. This long list I have, I'm gonna need like at least 6 people. But clearly I'm not gonna be involved with 6 men.
Are
So
you are you willing to compromise some of the things in your list?
absolutely. I don't have a choice because I know it's not going to be a person that's going to fulfill those. I don't have a choice. I have to
So
compromise. My
so
life is full of compromises.
you need to
But
go
the
to Build-A-Bear too and build you one. You gotta build that person up. You gotta
build
make it
that
happen.
person up. Let's talk
Yeah.
about that for a second because that means like encouraging him, like being that person you want him to be. Uh, it's just
Nah,
a lot.
I'm talking about informing that person of what's needed for
Oh,
you.
that's information. It's just sharing information. So
Yeah.
I'm like much like your friend who tell people up front, and then if you're not that, then I could just move around. But me personally, I'm not looking right now. I don't even. I just need a break. I just want to exhale.
Well,
I'm
what
just
you need a
tired of
break from?
trying to be something I'm not. Like it's a struggle. Like for a long time, I was monogamous relationships, monogamous. So and then not working out, like me giving my all to stuff, and it's not working out. And it's like, why is it not working out? My last relationship, not the last one, but the one before that, he just woke up and was like, I don't want to do this anymore, and I'll never get married again. I said,
Dang.
you could have just told me that in the beginning, and I would have saved 3 years of my life, thinking that we was gonna get married based off of how you were moving and like getting a house together, living together. Like
Wow.
we literally was living like we were married anyway. Like on
Mm.
his computer screen, it had Mrs. and Mister, whatever his last name was, and I was just like, okay, I see where this going. I'm
Well, you
like, I
know,
see
that's
where
part
this
of
going, and I was
part of
happy until I
living the
wasn't.
life before you was actually married. You're giving them wifey privileges. Can't give out wifey
So
privileges.
the thing about that is, so, and I get that, which is
Mhm.
why after him, I said I'll never move in with a man. A man would never move in with me. So I learned from that. I learned from that,
Yeah.
and also, even if I see Mister or Mrs. anything, take my name off of that. I don't want to have nothing to do with
You're
that. We're
not
not married.
pretending at all, huh?
Like I don't want to play this fairy tale life because I believe it was to be mind games that men play. Like my ex would talk all the time about we're gonna get married and this and that. I don't want to hear that. Like you're not even in a position to be married to me. Like I don't want to hear it. Stop. And he would get mad when I say stop it, but I know he was trying to speak it into existence.
Yes, that's
But if I know in my heart of hearts, like it ain't gonna work. So I would try and try until I can't try no more. Like in the beginning, I had one foot in, one foot out. And
mhm.
in the end I had both feet in. So if it still ain't working out and I got both feet in, he calling me now. I wonder if he watching my show. But and he's probably watching it on
How
YouTube.
you doing, bro?
I'm gonna stop talking about it. But anyway, back to the relationship things.
I
Because
heard
I
you say
really think
something.
he calling me because he's probably watching it.
You
So,
said you said you don't like hearing that. One of the things that
so
I refuse to have is somebody call me babe, honey, boo, anything that you call somebody in a previous relationship, I don't want to be called that because
now
it's
that's
not
huge.
dedicated to me. If you had 10 others before me and they was boo and babe, uh, sweetie, whatever, sweet pops or whatever you want to call them, like, no, don't
Sweet
call me that.
pops.
Because and then it's like seeing the Mr. and Mrs. Like, don't call me anything that
Right,
you
right. And
possibly could have called somebody else. 'Cause I don't know what you're thinking at that time,
I think
and
it's a
I am not that.
manipulative technique. I really
Huh?
do. I think people are like just so accustomed like to being
Mhm.
fake that they just roll with anything that they think is going to work. Like they don't even know their true self. So it's like a lot dealing with these strange people out here, these humans.
These
So
humans.
yeah, it's a lot. I'm telling you, like I can't even imagine, which is why I'm not gonna be dating and all that goofy stuff. Like I'm just gonna be me, like whatever that looks like. Let's talk about religious or spiritual differences. How does that play a role?
Well, that was one of the main things to why I changed that lifestyle that I was living because of my spiritual, realm that I joined into or was accustomed to.
Join? What did you join, friend?
Well, yeah, I had been baptized since I was younger, but I know that the life that I was living at that point in my religious circle wasn't acceptable. So when I got a grasp on my reality, that's when I was like, you know what, this might not be right. You know what I'm saying? So I had to make some changes, only for not only for that, number one, but for my daughters. I didn't want them to be looking at me different, or later on not respecting me because I'm doing something. Then later on, I try to tell them not to do it, and all of a sudden they're like, "Well, I see you doing it. Then what's the difference between me doing it?"
And
So with my
children
spirit,
are absolutely doers of what they see, not what you tell them. They
so
absolutely
my
emulate you.
spiritual world, when I corrected that, man, a lot of things changed back for me personally. So
Did
that
you
was
say
my
correct
number one.
that or
Mhm.
changed it? You
I
correct.
just changed it. I started living the way that I'm brought up to live. You know what I'm saying? So when I started doing that, I fell back from a lot of things. But I think it was that time for change too, because I went from heavy in the streets and I mean a lifestyle that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then making that change. So like you don't catch me in certain environments now, certain places doing certain things, saying like I don't even curse. So it's a lot of it was a big change because I went from being in the streets, one of the Texas kingpins at one point, to living with a bunch of women.
One of
To
the what? Did you
yeah,
just say kingpin?
I was doing a lot of things and I had to change my life around, but I was blessed to make it out of it. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for the prayers of my grandmother and my family, there's no telling what probably would have happened if I'd have continued down that life, that in that
That
cycle.
path,
I,
yeah, because we know
yeah,
it ends up two places.
yeah, and I started seeing a lot of my like. I had like 4 attempts on my life. Like my car had been shot up 4 times. So when I
What?
starts playing back into your mind and you thinking like, dang, how did I miss those bullets? Or you looking a shooter dead in the face and he's shooting at you, but it's hitting the car, but it's not hitting you. It plays with your mental at some point. So you have to start thinking like, what am I doing? Like, how am I going to change this? Where do
Okay,
it does it
friend.
change?
I'm learning a lot about you today. I don't know if I could take all this truth. Sheesh.
Oh man,
You just said
every
kingpin.
yeah,
My,
it was
that's
just
huge. So are you a
sparks.
Christian?
Yes, I am.
So are you like planning and following and studying the Bible?
Yeah.
Which version?
Well, the Holy Bible, the King James version. I don't know any other.
There are several Bibles, several
Well, that's
interpretations.
yeah. I don't do the Quran or the other. You know what I mean? I just go from the New King James version, which is basically more what you say easier to understand instead of speaking it in a language, style, art, and
Oh,
all that. I break it down a little bit more in a simplistic way that you can read it to where it's not like you're stuck in that dating path. But
do you
yeah, I do.
believe it? Well,
Yeah,
obviously, you have to believe it if you plan on living it, right?
correct, correct. Yeah.
Okay. So, how do you explain the discrepancies in the Bible?
I look at it like this. You know, a lot of people say that it was created for Christianity. He was created for black people. I've never heard about any racism in it towards black people. There's nothing to say like, oh yeah, we're gonna make blacks believe this in a day. And also, everybody believes in God,
There's
right?
nothing in it that says that. You must didn't get to that part yet, because it definitely tell you to obey your
Right.
masters.
Yeah, obey your masters, but then who is your masters? Who are your
If
masters?
it was created for slaves, then who are your masters?
Well, see, my
The
thing is
slave owners.
they would have made Jesus Christ white in the Bible. It's nowhere that it says that he is white, in the Bible. They describe him, but they never say it is a white man.
Well, they
And that
can't say that
why would they? They want to say
because
everything else
but
and
they
do
don't want
everything
you to
else.
believe. They don't want you to believe that they wrote it. They want you to believe that it's inspired by God. They're not going to put their face on it.
Oh, I believe in today's time. Oh, yes, they would. In the times back then, they would have definitely scored that
I
point if
don't
they could
think
have scored that
so.
basket.
I don't think so. But
Mhm.
if you look at the pictures and stuff that they have of this Jesus, but we're not gonna get off into that because that's a whole nother podcast. I swear it is. But so so
Yeah,
religious and spiritual differences would be a deal breaker for you. What if she was an
right.
atheist?
It has been. Um, one person that I was engaged to, we had spiritual differences at that point.
Mhm.
Her parents was
But
pushing something else, and the interpretation of what we were trying to the understanding we were trying to come to was totally different. Now she ended up getting baptized, right? We didn't work out. Something happened. She
uh-huh.
ended up acting as if she never went to the church, never was baptized or anything. So when she got with a new person, that's she went back to her original religion.
Mm,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where my comment section go. Um, okay. So you saying
So
she
you
went
said
back to her religion? Oh, why that
correct.
sound like that? What is happening right now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Okay. All right. So, but you guys were engaged though. So you asked her to marry you, even though y'all was on different levels with religion or a different perspective.
She changed the game up. She
Oh, afterwards.
Yeah, during that period of time, she changed it up and actually went into the faith, attending church and everything. It's just when we broke up, she went back to what she was raised by.
That's one of those things that I also experience.
So it
Like,
was kind of like, is it a
mhm.
good thing? Did it
No, it was a pretend thing.
pretend? That's what I'm
That
saying.
it,
A good
that,
thing that it happened that you saw
yeah,
what and there you go.
absolutely.
Could have been a bunch of lies later on. And she was very good at lying. Like she was good. It was
Mm.
crazy. Her parents, her mother, when I met her mother had beat her up in front of me. And then she was
What?
like, yeah. So I went over there, right? I was going over there. She was telling her people a lot of other stuff. And her mother was hated me from the jump. She didn't even know who I was, right? So one night she was coming from work. She had a real bad accident. She got hit on 35. A doctor was coming on opposite side of the freeway, head on collision. She disappears for like a month and a half, 2 months. I don't hear nothing from her, nothing like that. So the whole time, her parents is like, "Well, where's this dude you was out there messing around with and all this stuff, right?" But at the same time, I don't know what's going on with her. So when I finally get back into contact with her, she's in a wheelchair, right? She's wheelchair, cast up, everything like that. So when I go over there to meet, when she heals up, I go meet the parents. She was like, "Well," the mom's like, "Well, where you been this whole time?" I'm like, I'm just now finding out what's going on. So from that night, earlier that night, I didn't hear anything from her. So, we started I'm going over there and she's healing and everything like that. So she was telling her mother a bunch of lies. And at one point she came over there when I was over there and they just got her and the sister, the younger sister, just got the boo bopping on her, beating her up and they took the son and everything. So now
But
I'm there like,
why?
I don't know whether to call the police or just stay out of it, you know what I mean? I don't
Well,
even
why
know
did
what
they
to do.
beat up on her? What did they say?
Uh,
Like, I don't
she
get
was
it.
just like, "I'm tired of you lying." And right before the fight, her mother walked up to me, she said, "This girl will not tell the truth to save her life." And that stuck with me. I'm like, "Why would her mother tell me this?" Right? So I'm like, I gotta believe the mother. I gotta hold that in my pocket until
That's huge.
figure it out. And I promise you, later on, every time something bad had happened to where it was making us separate, I was always remembering what her mother had told me. So this is what happened. The last part, right? Um, her people had he owned a magazine that's Dallas based, and we go to the party. We go out there and everything. He was supposed to be gay, gay man or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we go to the party, we having fun, whatever the case may be. I'm thinking it's just her cousin. Well, she gets a she tells me she gets a call one day. She like, hey, I need to go work for my cousin's magazine because his assistant, something happened to his assistant. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I said, where you going? She says, I'm going to Atlanta. I said, all right, so how you leaving out? Oh, don't worry about it. He gonna pay for everything. He gonna pay me when I get out there. And I'm gonna be leaving out of what's that? Love Field Airport. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, cool. So I'm the type of person, I'm not gonna question you because I believe in your trust. I'm not fixing to question you. You do whatever until you get caught, right? So I think a month had passed. She had went on a trip, gone for the weekend, did her little whatever, whatever. I remember we were sitting in the living room and a commercial came on, Southwest Airlines, and it said Southwest Airlines. I asked her, I said, where'd you fly out? She said Southwest out of Love Field. So the commercial came on, said Southwest Airlines is now flying out of Love Field Airport starting next week. Free, I promise you. Just sit on the flight. Remember that thing about, remember what you told me?
Uh-huh.
I looked at her and I was like, say, what? Didn't you fly out of Southwest? She was like, yeah. I said, out of Love Field Airport. I said, how is that possible? And they just now finna fly out of Southwest right now. She had nothing else to
One
say.
number God.
Yeah. And I
One
thought about her
number
mom. Girl will not lie to save her life. And I was like, well, there you go.
And that's
Yeah,
one of the lies you didn't even have to tell. You could just
hey,
told what you
man, it's
actually flew
crazy.
out of.
She could have just said I left out of it. I just left on the plate. She just volunteered some stupid information, but hey, everything happens for a reason.
Volunteer
And
lie.
that story is 100% crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it just
My mama
went.
friend told me that it's in her son nature to lie. She
She
said you
must.
just gotta
She
learn how
must
to
have got
respond
a
to it.
daddy. She
Told me
must
that.
have a
She said I
daddy.
just need to learn how to respond to it. Or ask
Right.
God to teach me how to respond to it because he not gonna stop, basically.
At what point did she tell
Oh.
you this? In the beginning, or like at what point?
Well, obviously not at the beginning because I didn't meet her until later on. But I would always definitely talk to her and seek her wisdom, because I always like talking to people that I believe to be smarter than me and wiser than me
Of
because I
course.
always learn something.
Yeah.
So I used to just go in there and sit when she sit and drink her tea and talk to her, and I just would tell. I'm like, man, why he lying about stuff that don't have nothing to do with me? Like, it don't even have nothing to do with me. Like, it's not going to
I
affect my life at all. I
Yeah.
don't even get it. And so she told me that. She's like, Creature's in his nature to lie. We know he lie. We just shake our head and keep moving, keep praying for him. And I'm like, oh, okay. I ain't gonna be able to do that. I said, how can you be with somebody looking you in your face and lying to you?
So I ain't
And
gonna be
then
able to do
whenever
that.
you call him out on it, he says everybody lies. You lie, don't you? You lied just
Wow.
the other day. You said you got off the phone. This is excuse. He said you got off the phone with your friend because I have a friend that I don't really like talking to all the time because she
Mhm.
always negative Nancy. So I always be like, hey, my mama calling, so I get off the phone with her. So I did that in front of him. He's like, did you
Mm.
just lie? Did you just lie? I said, absolutely, because I didn't want to talk on the phone. You couldn't just tell her? I said, no, because she just called me back or be like, call me back. Like, no, I just tell her my mom, she automatically know, get off the phone. So, I mean, yeah, I tell lies, but nothing that's gonna affect your life or you know what I mean, like that's gonna make my character be questioned.
Nah,
So,
you either gonna hate me or love me. And I think to like me is to love me or whatever the case may be, but I'm gonna tell you that truth. You're just gonna deal with it. You know what I mean? Especially my
well,
position where I come from, you had to deal with it.
in that situation, I've already told the truth to her several times. Like, I don't like talking to you because you are negative Nancy. Over and over again, I've told her that. She knows it, but she still calls me every day. It's like
That's your
clockwork.
friend. That's
Every
your
day.
friend.
Every day. Every
Yeah.
day. Can't get on the podcast. Can't get her
Oh,
on
but
the
she can call
podcast
you
at
back.
all.
Yeah, I know some people like that. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. But she won't talk to me every day. I say, you want to talk to me, book and schedule a podcast, and I'll be more than happy to go live with you.
Down
And we can
there. Yeah,
talk.
all
Because
you
this
want.
phone stuff, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. All right, let's move right along because, good God, it's already been 45 minutes and we ain't even got to communication and emotional maturity. What do you think about somebody who, because you like a thinker. So, me, myself personally, as far as communication, I believe I am a great communicator. However, when I get upset or bothered and need to like process information, sometimes it takes me a while to do that. Like, process what I do, what I could have done, how we can fix it, because I'm also like somebody who want to fix things. Um, so it takes me a minute, and so sometimes it takes me like a couple days. And my friend used to be like, "Yo, you can't be going a couple days without talking to me." Like, I don't mind texting, but to like verbally talk about what happened, I need to process it in its entirety before I can come back and address it with a calm mind. Like, it's just like a calm down period for me, because when I
Mm,
talk to you when I'm still angry and upset, I'm liable to say something that I'm gonna end up apologizing for later on. So I like to process it in its entirety before I come back. And some people might think that that is a little passive aggressive if you do the silent treatment, but I don't call it the silent treatment. I call it taking time to process everything so I can have a
great.
clear mind and head when I come back. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Well, I'm kind of a live wire because I'm from LA, so we don't you don't have that much time to think, and sometimes you got to just hit things head on. So if I take time to process it, I'm trying not to hurt your feelings, and I care a little bit more. Other than that, I'm a gunner, and my
Yes.
rebuttals come off real fast. And I'm gonna let you know I don't have no brakes, no brake fluid, no brake line, no calipers, no brake shoes,
And you
nothing.
rolling right into it.
We gonna roll right into it because I'm a thing, but I'm like this though. I can't let stuff marinate too long because it'll drive me crazy if I don't say what what I mean. Get this thing over with. Like I can't do it. You know what I mean? But I also can't argue. So I'm gonna talk my way through it. We gonna talk and everything like that. I can't take loud
What
tones.
if she's yelling at you and stuff? So that's what I mean
Oh,
about like some people when they're angry, they don't speak to you in a normal tone.
no, and that's not a conversation. That there is a fight or argument, and I don't argue. I can't personally do it.
So what do you do when your woman is arguing with you? Like you got to give us something because you saying I don't do it, but if your partner
Oh,
does it, what are you gonna do?
well, then I got to exit stage left because I have a I have a problem. So I will exit, and I'm not gonna put my hands on you. I was raised around a lot of women like that, but I know how I am because of the PTSD from the streets. I
Mm.
can't stay in that realm too fast because I will do break something. You know what I mean? So I will exit.
You would break
And
something?
oh,
Y'all get this, ladies, when y'all get in this inbox, don't say y'all ain't heard this before.
this
Are
right
those
here
stab
came.
wounds?
This came because I couldn't have a conversation. I was trying not to yell. I wasn't trying to argue, and I ended up breaking something and almost cut off my arm. So, and I was like, "Hey, I can't do this. No, I'll get out. I'll leave before any of that." Yeah. So I can't argue. I just can't argue. I can't take people
So
yelling at me. Can't go and all that. I just can't do it.
I'm inclined to believe I'm similar to that. Um,
Siegfried, free.
so
There?
when you, huh?
You there? I see you. Yeah, you there? Go ahead.
So I see like you saying you have to leave. Like that's me. But again, it's so that I can process it, so that I say things that I actually mean and figuring out a way that we can probably or possibly fix it if possible. And you're saying that if it's yelling involved or screaming or whatever, you're just gonna leave, period, because you have to break something.
I gotta go because the way I grew up is different. You know what I mean? Like, because we can have a conversation. Like, I had a dude named Debo used to play for the Patriots. He was one of the biggest dudes in the room. He's like 7 foot something, almost 400 pounds. and little people, we would have discussions in the barber shop, and he was like, "Hey, man, like tone that down. You know, I still can understand you. We don't need to be moving furniture in here. Like I could put you around this whole room, but we can have a conversation without it escalating to yelling.
Mm-hmm.
uh, you know, like we can, I can talk to you all day just like this, and we can work things out. But when you're yelling, you're not hearing a lot of the stuff that's coming back.
Nobody's listening.
Nobody's listening. Everybody's trying to prove a point. You done missed everything. And my thing is, I'm gonna tell you the truth the first time. So there's no need to keep digging and digging for some other truth. My truth is the truth the first time. So if you can't deal with it, then we need to just leave this conversation alone. Because
Now, do you
somebody's
ever revisit it,
well, oh, we
the
can revisit it.
conversation?
Yeah, yeah, but it's gonna be the same answers. Yeah, because I'm giving you the answers at at that time of the discussion. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing gonna change. I'm coming with full understanding. I'm coming with patience. I'm coming with a nice tone, but I just can't. I'm not a person that can argue, like or you know, what I mean? And we can agree to disagree. We can always say, you know what, let's agree to disagree. I'm like, all right, cool. But I just can't take yelling. Like it does something to me.
And that's how adults do it. Do y'all hear that? You can talk in a normal tone. Like I have to tell my friend that all the time. I hope he is listening. Do you hear that? Like you don't have to yell, scream, break nobody necklace, like cause you upset and you angry. Like just let me get my. Oh wait, I went away from it. Never mind. I'm just saying, I just went to get my stuff, and Joker's wilding out, tearing up my property just because they bought it. Like it was my Christmas gift. Like, how you gonna take? And then I'm like, just give me back my stuff I bought you. Then we can be even. No, you can't have anything. I'm like,
And I ain't no Indian. I'm not an Indian giver. You can have whatever. You know how many houses I done left furnished with women and just left everything in the house. Like, just give me my clothes. My barber instructor taught me that. He said he left his wife and any girl he left, he said, just give me my clippers. That's
he
where the
just wanted
money's at.
his clippers.
Just give me the clippers so I can go make some money. You can have whatever's in there. I've
I'm
left
not even gonna
plenty of
lie.
them.
I was petty before and I asked for all my gifts back. I was like, whatever I bought you, I want it
Yeah.
all back since you're not wearing it anyway. And you definitely ain't going to be having no apron on naked for nobody else but me. Give me my apron. I want all my
Apron
stuff back.
on naked is very interesting. What are you doing? Apron
And
on
when I
naked.
tell you, he put all the stuff in a little box except for two things. He forgot my whiskey glass set I had bought and the apron. The apron was not in the box.
I'm
He
I'm
kept
not
the
even
apron.
a person that remember what I done bought people. Like I'll buy you something. I'll probably forget next week, like whatever it is. Like it's out of my memory. My daughter,
Women always remember what they bought the man.
nah, I don't remember nothing. I promise you, I'll buy you something. And it's a wrap. I done left maybe 4 or 5 houses full of furniture. Bought
4 or
everything in
5
there
houses?
and just left out. Yeah, I'm not.
You have a problem with
Okay.
commitment, friend?
No, no, I love commitment. It's just like I don't have a problem with problems.
You don't have a problem with problems,
Nah, I let it be.
but
I'm
you
gonna let
sound
it
like a problem solver.
yeah, Imma try to, but if it's not reciprocated, then we're not solving any problems. You know what I mean? You're just looking for a problem. Like I will, like I said, I can have a comment. We can talk like this for hours and work some things out. I believe that it conversations at this tone, figuring the things out, leads to a more passionate engagement later on. If you can work that out,
Absolutely.
that's a turn on because we were able to sit this out. I'm feeling something different. It's just rare that you can run into somebody like that and have those type of engagements and work things out. You know what I mean? Like that. This when they're arguing and all that stuff, they get that from their parents and their dad and their grandma. Like that's something they saw. I learned that in counseling. That's something they saw when they was growing up. I didn't see that when I was growing up. We didn't have any fights and crazy stuff like that. So it's just not where I come from. And then in the
Well,
streets from LA, it's like you don't walk away from arguments and stuff like that. Somebody's gotta go. So, you
that's
as men,
crazy.
we
Somebody
peacefully
gotta
work things
die.
out and iron that stuff out, and we figuring out what it is, you know what I mean? I was in a different position, so I had to be able to have a more level head than most
Mhm.
people. Yeah,
Kingpin.
and if it went that way, it went bad.
Yeah, well, I'm from Chicago too. It's kinda like, You don't fight because if you fight, somebody has to go. Like, or you're gonna keep fighting every time you see that person. And who don't want to fight is me. I don't want to fight. I don't like to
Right.
argue. I don't like raising my voice. I don't like the name calling or none of that stuff. And people get mad at me because I shut down and walk away from stuff. I was called. This girl tried to attack me at Taco Tuesday one week about the a dude that I wasn't even involved with anymore for at least almost a year. I wasn't even involved with him for almost a year. And she approached me. I said, "Wait, what are you trying to fight me about again?" And she just kept saying, "And you will lose, and you will lose." I said, "Well, I'm trying to figure out why I'm fighting. First of all, I need to know." And she mentioned him, and I was like, "Girl, I ain't dealt with this Negro in over a year. Like, what is the problem?" And she's like,
Yeah.
"Me either." I said, "Nah, you both got us both out here
What's the
looking stupid.
problem?
What the hell is the problem?" She laughed and walked away. Now I
You
know
need
she
to
was
stay away
drunk.
from Taco Tuesdays.
But I love Taco Tuesday. I miss
I've
this
never
Tuesday,
been.
but I'll be back next Tuesday. I love Taco Tuesday. It's such a just a joyful environment because a lot of us people that I know go, and now that I'm not dealing with the other guy that we used to go there all the time, but we're still cool. I can be cordial with anybody, and I like that type of ending of relationships. Like if we can still be cordial and speak, have conversations, whatever, drink together, whatever, but that's what I like. And
I've been on dates
all
with
of my ex people that I dealt with, I have that type of, except for this last one, like he really pissed me off with the taking my necklace and breaking it. He don't even understand how mad I was. Like, how dare you take something that belongs to me and destroy it? And honestly, I know he wanted to hurt me, and you got it. You hurt me. Now I don't want to be cool with you. So like, I don't know what else to tell you. And he offered to give me another one. I don't want it. I'm gonna buy my own
should have
necklace.
brought it. You
And that
should
way
have
you
brought
can't even
it.
say you bought me
Got me
nothing.
another one. Yeah.
Or I just
Yeah.
wear the one my son bought me or the one I bought the other day. Like, but it was a necklace like his and a cross. And it's kind of like our little thing. We would kiss it like when we were out together, and that
Oh,
was like
that
our
was
thing.
cute.
So he know it meant like a lot to
That
me
was cute. That was
to
cute,
keep my.
Creed. And he broke it at the end. He did that to you. That's
Isn't that
crazy.
crazy?
That's
And
wild.
he really like,
And
well,
he knew
you
he was going
you took
to
my
get you.
heart. So your heart is equivalent to a necklace? Like, what am I missing? Because he definitely compared to me taking his heart and breaking his heart. So is it equivalent to the necklace? That's why you broke the necklace? Because the necklace can be replaced. The exact same necklace. I can go buy it again.
He saw that somewhere before in his mother's relationship. I guarantee you she has a broken necklace somewhere down the line.
You think so?
I, look, you,
I
you
should ask her.
the behaviors that someone sees, it happened somewhere. They saw it somewhere else. It happened in a family conflict. It happened somewhere else to where he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna use that one." Yeah, man, just
Well,
don't break no necklace.
I can say this. I grew up around a lot of violence.
Mhm.
I've seen my sister get beat, my mother get beat, violence. I used to be violent. I stabbed a couple people protecting my sister. I done stabbed my son father because he lied to me in my face, and I just went like, ah. Let me tell you, I spent one night in jail. One night, 24 hours. That's all it took. Told God, if you ever let me out of this situation, you ain't got to ever worry about me coming back.
Oh,
I
you
went
run
through
it, take it to
counseling.
God,
I went
huh?
through
See,
anger management.
take
Oh,
it.
I believe in God. I just
Mhm,
don't believe in the Bible in its entirety. I believe in God. I definitely believe in the supreme being.
mhm.
Um, I said, you get me out of this situation because I've been blessed as well. Like bullets. I grew up in Chicago, South Side, horrible, like poor, just bad. But I've also built resilience. So like I'm resilient. A lot of things don't even phase me. So that girl wilding out, I was just as calm. Him wilding out, I was just as calm.
You
Like
were
I'm
just
like,
waiting for
okay,
her to
I've
jump.
seen this before, huh?
You were just waiting for her to jump.
No, I don't want to. I didn't want to fight her. Like, so I never want to fight anybody. So
Mm,
unless you put your hands on me, then I'm gonna defend myself. But to initiate or instigate a fight, like, cause I could have used her saying that and be like, well, what the fuck you gonna do? But that's not me. I don't do
yeah,
that. Like, I'm the peacemaker. To be honest with you, like if I see people, especially black people, like fighting, I don't like it. I think we need to figure out different ways to handle our aggression, and alcohol is definitely not it. So I'm much like you. I like to keep a normal tone when I'm talking to people so that they can reciprocate that. Like, you see, I'm not yelling at you. Could you please stop yelling at me? I don't call names. Like, And don't get me wrong, if you do take me there, which is very rare, then I will. Like I'll be breaking stuff like people break stuff, like you said. But I don't allow myself to get there. I leave and I take time before I even come back and be around that person. That girl who did that, I waited 2 days and then I started hitting her up in the inbox. Hey, we need to talk about this because this can't ever happen to me again. I said I was highly disappointed in your behavior. She probably was like, and she was like, what are you talking about? She's so drunk she don't even remember. And I'm like,
See, it was after.
I find it's hard to believe that you don't remember approaching me, and then later on they was thrown up in the bathroom drunk, and I'm just
Oh
like,
yeah, if she throwing
yeah,
up,
I could have straight attacked you right there in the bathroom if I felt
she
some
didn't
type of
remember.
way.
She was drunk.
She was absolutely her and her friend was drunk, and I really like that could have went like so bad, like so left, like. And I was sober because I had just showed up at Taco Tuesday. I didn't even have my first drink yet, and I was greeted with drama. And I was just like, why is this happening again to me? I always like do like an evaluation of my life when bad stuff happened in my life. Like I really think like, is this something that I did to somebody? And I never really come up with anything because I'm really close to perfect. No, I'm just joking, but I
That's
really try not to
yeah,
be in
it's
drama.
ammunition right
I stay away from drama and all these type of things. So like when people like say they don't like me or want to fight me, I really question like what's wrong with them that they want to fight somebody who always smiles, always happy, greets everybody with love. Like why would anybody want to fight somebody like that? So I don't
Jealousy.
even know
It
what
was
was we
jealousy.
talking. We didn't get all left field. This is what happened on podcasts. Like you just start talking and you just have, and I love this. Like you just have conversations. Every time I'm around my friends, I be wanting to go live, but they don't want to go live with me. Like it's like stuff that somebody needs to hear that experienced it, can learn something. Like if you just teach one person or share one experience with somebody, and they be like, dang, like it's just great. He legit does not argue. That's what Boss Lady said.
Oh yeah,
I'm
no.
gonna put that on there. I know her.
I do not argue. I will not do it. That's been for a long time. I can't do it. I mean, it doesn't get you anywhere. You know what I mean?
Really, nobody's listening. When both people are talking and yelling and screaming, nobody's listening. Who's
That's
listening? Nobody. Nobody is being logical, so there's no listening taking place. You just yap yap yapping, and it's just noise in the air. Now, what do you think about different financial habits,
oh,
like spending versus saving? How does that play a role in relationships?
oh, that can be major. Um, some spending habits can really destroy a relationship. Um, it really depends on what you're spending on. You know what I mean? So you asked me earlier, was I frugal? I'm like, nah, but I will pay attention to certain things I would buy. You know what I mean? Yeah, certain things are mandatory necessities and stuff like that. But I was always, I'm always believing in like put some cookies away for a better day. You never know an emergency they might happen, so you have to have that set aside. That you taking care of what you're supposed to take care of, right? So when you're taking care of that, put away some chickens from for a rainy day, and then have some for spending at the same time because you have to enjoy yourself. So when I was younger, one of my managers told me every family has an entertainment dollar. You know what I mean? So you have to put entertainment money around certain things to make sure that the family is cool, that you're cool, you having because you're not gonna just keep working and put all this money up and end up passing later on, and then you didn't enjoy life. I had this conversation with one of my clients.
Some
He was
people
telling
do
his
that.
younger friends, like, "Hey, man, we can't," he was talking about going to the hip hop rodeo, and his
Hmm.
homeboy was like, "Oh, I wanna go." He's like, "Hey, man, we work too hard not to go enjoy ourselves." So, I enjoy myself, you know what I mean, and I put away, so I have a good balance. But, it really depends on the person that you're into too, because some people can overdo it. I've seen a lot of overdoing. I've never seen nobody underdo it, so it's kinda
Living
hard for me.
above your means, that's one of those things that a lot of black people struggle with. Like,
Yeah.
where was I? This guy had on like these big old rings. He like had all these chains on and all this and that. And I drive Uber sometimes. So
Mhm.
and he had all this stuff on. I'm like, what are you, some rich rapper or something? And I dropped him off in the trailer park. And it was not even a nice looking trailer park. It was like a rundown trailer park. And I was just like, yeah, he's absolutely like
Well,
living
how you know he
outside.
wasn't
And it could
hustling?
be all fake. I don't know.
He could have been going over there to serve somebody.
In an Uber?
Yeah, I know a lot of
Oh, I don't
there's a
know.
lot of people
I,
that
I definitely judged him.
hit Ubers, yeah, because they're looking at it like this. If I have no license, if I have warrants, if I have all these different things, Imma get my
Mm,
Uber driver to take me there. If they pull the Uber driver over, it's for you, not the person that's in the car. And I had a
mhm.
couple of people use Uber, even in New York. New York taxis,
Pretty
I used to
crazy.
have this dude, they would drive around in New York and hit licks all day. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still so it's still like an overall consensus that black men that in the streets that make a lot of money, they like to look flashy and stuff. And you can't tell from the white counterparts that don't look flashy. They wear bummy clothes or whatever, and you can't really tell how much money they make. But a lot of the flash, well, I grew up like that. A lot of the black men and what they didn't have growing up, they can't wait to go buy,
When
put
they
the
get older.
rims on the cars. You was one of those guys, Kingpin. I
Nah,
should
Imma
call
say
you
this
that.
though. No, don't call me that. That's past life. But what I'm saying is though, we come from we're kings and queens in Africa, right? The gold and
I agree.
everything like that. That's just in our nature, right? But Imma say this, they always wanna compare it to the white guy. They say, "Oh, you can't tell a millionaire because he's not gonna have this and that and that." But also, a broke white guy is not he's gonna do the same. It's just in their nature to
Not be
dress and
flashy.
not be flashy, but they will spend on gaming computers and other things, exotic, crazy animals and stuff that we don't
Weird
even look into.
fetishes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
weird fetishes, so we can't compare the 2. You know what I mean? It's different. It's just, and we get
I
that
just
put
go
on
ahead.
us, and then the image doesn't fit.
Yeah. I just look in the sense of if I'm gonna rob somebody, I'm gonna rob somebody who looks like they got a lot of money. I'm just saying, although I'm not robbing anybody.
Yeah, I got you. But check
So
this out,
that's
say
what
if you take that chance, right, and you just said, "Oh boy might have had fake jewelry in." There's a lot of
Mhm.
people that wear fake jewelry. It's a lot of people like when I wear jewelry, I have them thinking that, well, he can't afford that, so it can't be real. Or if I have on my diamond pieces or something like that, oh, I know
Uh-huh.
this gonna be, and I'm like, yeah, it's fake. Yeah, but you put a diamond tester on it, it's real, right? But you take that chance if you want to. It's not gonna turn out too well for you.
Don't
I'm
take that.
licensed.
Okay.
I'm licensed. I'm a licensed firearm instructor, and I
Yeah,
believe
well,
in
you don't even need a license anymore in Texas, though.
yeah, but I have a lot of credentials past my Texas barber license. I'm a licensed firearm instructor, range safety officer,
Oh, okay.
level 4 protection
Jack
officer,
of all trades.
bodyguard, and that's all registered
You a
through Texas.
bodyguard?
I'm in self defense. I've been doing protection for athletes and stuff
Are
like that.
your hands registered as deadly weapons?
No, I'm my
Oh shit.
my
I almost
that's
got
for
excited.
boxers. That's for boxing. Yeah,
I
that's
almost got
that's
excited.
for MMA and boxing. No, I haven't crossed that one, but legally, I'm all self defense.
Uh,
I'm never on the offense. That's why you always see me just chilling out.
that's what's the word I'm looking for? I'll just say I like that. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
It's like in all my jobs they teach de-escalation techniques. So before you even when you see a person like getting out of character or something, like it's just things you can do to de-escalate instead of matching that energy and then blowing it up to
Of course.
something bigger. Maddie said probably like 10 minutes ago, is Colleen that small you run into someone who dated an ex? Well, I'll tell you, Maddie, it wasn't that I ran into her coincidentally. Like she found out that was a place we hung out at every Tuesday, and then she started coming every Tuesday. Much like a couple of people that I know found out I hang there every Tuesday. Now they show up coincidentally every Tuesday. And this is why I don't like putting my business on Facebook. But sometimes I do, and now people know that's why I'm hanging out on
We
Tuesday.
can
So if
find
they
you
want to
at
get me,
Taco
they
Tuesday
know exactly where to go on Tuesday. And
every Tuesday.
I'm going to be there with bells on. So that's why it was not a coincidence. She comes up there because she knows that we hung up there a lot. And then after we stopped dealing, she still started. It was her spot now. Now it's her spot too. So I mean, it's a public place. Who can say who can come and who can't come? Like I
That
really
part.
don't care. I seen her a couple Tuesdays ago. Like she
They
didn't say nothing to
selling
me.
tacos.
So that's why I had a conversation outside of Taco Tuesday, because I'm like, I can't be having to deal with this when I go enjoy myself with my friends. Like, I don't have beef. I don't have beef. Like, I don't. Like, if I have something and you want it, take it. Bye. If you can take it, just take it. But my necklace, I want my necklace back. I did not appreciate that at all. Okay.
LIG it, Cree. LIG it. There you go.
I know what you're gonna say about this. Let's talk about disrespect and toxic behavior. I know these are things that are like deal breakers and huge, and I have allowed, and I'm gonna say allowed because, in a sense, some people just don't know. Like, if you've ever dealt with somebody who's never like really been in a serious relationship, married, it's some things that they just don't, that are not given. Like when you with a couple, and I like to discuss a couple of those things. For starters, if you go out dancing with your partner, is it okay that your partner dance with somebody of the opposite sex?
Oh, that's me? Let me see.
Mhm.
Um, in the past, I didn't have a problem. Right now, I wouldn't have a problem, but I would say no to it.
Say that again.
In the past, I wouldn't
Stay
have had a
present,
problem,
friend.
but now I would definitely say no to it.
You would have a problem with it now?
I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I would prevent things. So I'm looking at it like this.
Go ahead, speak
Say
on
it's
it.
o say it's okay to dance, right? And I've
Mm-hmm.
asked this question because, we talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
I asked some ladies at the shop, and she said, "Oh, yeah, I don't have a problem with that." I said, "Yeah, but what happens is it goes from, same old two-step to dun, 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 dun." And she started twerking on, "Oh, I'm gonna grab somebody and start dancing on him." I said, "Well,
See?
hold on. You just gave him permission to dance. And if he's just standing there and the lady decides to turn around and just back it up on him, then you have a problem." And then on the other hand, if we switch this things, if the dance gets a little too graphic and he starts grabbing and holding and things like that, now I have to step in to protect your honor. You feel what I'm saying? So to prevent all of that, I don't even want to get involved, and I don't want you involved because I don't want to have to come to your defense, and I don't want to have the tables turned on the other hand. So I'm not dancing with anyone, and
It just
then I will
alleviates
prefer not to
all
have
the
problems.
coulda, shoulda, wouldas. It just
Mhm.
alleviates all of that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like I had that issue, and but when we met, we could dance with whoever, whatever. It was not a big deal. But now you saying we're in a relationship, it's like, and if you already have friends that are like touchy feely friends and stuff like that, they ain't gonna think nothing of turning around and putting that ass on you. You think I want to sit there and watch that? Like, you think I'm gonna be okay with that? Or if, God forbid, like some random guy, whatever, try to ask, want to ask to dance with me, my answer is going to be immediately no. You don't see my guy right here? Like,
Yeah.
if I'm already of that mindset, why you want to go dance with whoever? Like, it don't make sense to me. Like, to alleviate all of that. And his rebuttal was, well, you like to swing dance and you dance with other men to swing dance, and I'm like, totally not the same thing. Like, and I'm in class to learn swing dances, and the only way you learn is if you dance with a guy. So go
Yeah.
ahead and take the classes, which he was doing
Yeah.
that, which was great. He was doing that. But in the meantime, I'm still going to class and I have to dance with these men. It's not like I'm out with my friends partying and I'm getting up and dancing with a random line dance man. No, it's me learning. I know I'm in the process of learning.
Yeah, that's something totally different being in a class. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you're out
He
in the regular
said
environment.
dancing with a man is dancing with a man.
Nah.
Now, what are you saying, man?
If that's a class, then nah. That's no different than a karate instructor or that's a difference. That's a paid event. You're only gonna
No, it's
have X
free.
amount of people. Oh, it's free. Well, I mean, regardless, if it's a class environment, you know what I'm saying? It's just no different than you're in a class and they say, "Well, partner up with somebody," right? And
Right.
y'all go do a acting class. You go partner up with him and her, and you guys act out the scene. You're those are requirements for that class. That's the whole purpose. You know what I'm saying? Now, a club is something totally different. It's a nightclub. It's anything can happen. You have alcohol involved. You have people inebriated with drugs and different things that might. turn somebody on. You never know what they might have taken before they came in there, and it goes a little bit further than what it is. But in a class environment, come on, man, that's a little bit overboard. That's just me. I don't know about you, fella, but that's just me. Do you think?
Okay, what about refusal to work? What does it say? Refusal to grow or work on your personal issues.
Well, who's deciding what the personal issue is?
Well, I mean, so for example, let's talk about that liar you was involved with. So if you brought it to her attention and then she just keep on doing it, like it's how do you know when a person like really stopped doing something that they've been doing it before their whole life? Like, do you think a person can just stop doing that? Like, to me,
Nah.
it's a character issue. Like, I think you can pretend for a while, but eventually you go back to that character. What do you think?
If you really care about that person, you'll make progress and make sure that it doesn't happen. You know, especially if a person know that they're monitoring your movements. You'll make you know, help. You'll try to help the situation by alleviating that doubt that the person might have. You're trying to make it better for that person. You're trying to ease that off, and then eventually, nothing just shuts off like that, but lights and water. So it'll take some time to get through, but you should if the person's working towards it, you'll see progress. I
Okay.
think so.
What if you let's talk about this. I believe and I think that I'm spot on when I say this that most people are attracted to confidence, right?
Yeah.
So if you're with a woman who appear to be confident, but you notice after a while that she has insecurities and she needs reassurance all the time, how would you deal with that?
Then I think that's lack of confidence. She's not all the way confident. So um, I can't help you with me personally, I feel I can't help you with your confidence. That's just something that's gonna be intrinsic. That's gonna be inside of you to display that when you're out or when and I'm gonna be attracted to it, so you're gonna automatically have it. I love a woman that's confident. Like voluptuous, whatever, like whatever the short, whatever you feel and you're confident in it, it's gonna just ooze out. You're gonna know that when you see it, and that's what I'm attracted to. That's what most men gonna be attracted to
Now,
because
you
it's
said
gonna
you
come
can't
out your
help
skin.
her. You saying
I
you
can't
can't
help
help
you
a woman with
become.
insecurities?
Mm-mm.
So you can probably help her with her insecurities, and I'll tell you how. So say she's I'm trying to think of somebody has spoken to me before. So like she had a problem trusting. So not that you've ever said anything to her, lied to her, or anything like that. It's just that in her mind, because of previous stuff that she hasn't completely worked out, she has issues with like really trusting. So she needs to know like where you're at, kind of like your every not your every movement, but like if some time that went by and she ain't heard from you, right? And you might have said I'm on my way home or something like that. So the reassurance would be give her a call. Hey babe, I'm running late. I stopped at such and such house or I stopped at such and such to pick up something. So like that extra communication, like that can help a person who struggles with
Yeah, that's respect though. Like I wouldn't even have to worry about you saying that because I'm gonna let you know that anyway. I don't have a problem. So if I am somewhere else and I know she's expecting me 11:30, if I know I'm gonna go somewhere else, I'm gonna let her know off top. Hey, babe, check this out. I'm leaving here a little bit later than what it is. I'm gonna tell you more information than what's needed. I'm gonna oversaturate it. Oh, this food and did so and so and so and so. So this is gonna take a little bit longer while I come over here and do, and I'm gonna go over here and do that. I'm gonna be that informative to you in the first place. So it's gonna erase all doubt, especially if I'm on top of telling you the truth at all times. You're not even gonna be worrying about it because you're like, man, this boy tell me everything. This man tells me what I don't need to know. And I'm known for that. I had one of my barbers, he told me, he's man, you always telling your business. I'm like, yeah, I'd rather tell my business than somebody else tell it
somebody
for me
else.
and give you the wrong. So if my mom was a crackhead, Falon told you his mama was a crackhead. You don't have to worry about it. And then I'm gonna tell you where she buys the dope from and all that. So you don't have nothing else to put me down about it. So I'm gonna let the woman know. I'm gonna make you feel confident. But that's to me, that's respect.
I agree with you that it's respect, but a lot of people lack in that area.
Mhm.
And that's actually being transparent, like giving me information that I didn't ask for. There's a lot of people that consider themselves being honest. So, like, if you ask me a question, then I'll give you the answer. But the
No,
transparency is giving me all the information before I even ask. So I commend you on that, and that's the word I was looking for. Commend you. I
I don't
commend
like
you on
pulling
that.
teeth.
But a lot of people are not like that. They don't operate. That's why transparency is like a huge word now when they're talking about in relationships, because it's like, if you let me know all this stuff, I wouldn't have to play the guessing game and ask you a million questions. You know what I'm saying? I used to tell my friend, like, I kind of know the answer before I even ask you. So when you answer it and you try to leave stuff out, it's like, why? If you're not up to no good, why would a person do that if they're not up to no good?
I'm gonna give you too much information, so I don't ever worry about that. But yeah,
Right. So let me ask
respectfully.
you this. What do you think about a woman putting your business on Facebook?
Um, what kind of business? You talking about like in the bedroom business? Like
Whatever business, the
nine
bedroom, your
nine
relationship.
times.
If y'all had a
I mean,
disagreement,
I wouldn't put it the bedroom business out there for the simple fact that'll make other people want to jump into your business as far as your bedroom side. So that's personal. Everything else that she might put out there on the internet or wherever she put it at, I guarantee you I'm telling it somewhere else. So it's not gonna be anything that's gonna be like, oh, why you say this and say that. It'll be put out there. Like I said, I'm transparent. So I'm not gonna have a problem what's
so
put out there. But
disagreements, you okay with that?
disagreements,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean,
Even
I
if
mean,
y'all like squashed it or whatever, and she
if you feel like putting that out there and answering those questions to those people that's asking these questions or looking at you a certain way, then you go ahead and put that business out there. But I guarantee you, I don't do nothing that I'm not ashamed of. I'm not a disrespectful person. I'm not gonna do so. You probably ain't gonna have much to tell at the end of the day. Are they gonna be tired of you looking at you saying, "Oh, well, she seems happy"? You know what I mean? It's not gonna be anything negative for me personally.
do you find it though to be like, so just say for example a person doing that, do you find that to be like an immature thing to do?
It can be damaging for your relationship because, like, say for instance, you put that
That's what I
out there,
want you to talk about.
and then 3 days later, right, y'all done made up. Now you're saying my boo, my baby, my love, and this, but people looking like, well, this 3 days ago you was arguing or you had a problem,
Talking about
and
she
then
need counseling.
and then no different than you doing something on Monday and you run and tell your brothers, not your brothers and your uncles, and they want to go beat this
Mhm.
dude up, and then y'all make up on a Thursday, but they didn't beat him up on Tuesday. You gotta watch what you put out there. You know what I mean? So yeah, it can be bad at some points for other people, but yeah, you gotta watch out for that type of stuff. I promise you, it can get
Yeah,
bad
because
sometimes.
it's people waiting for your downfall. Like, it's people that don't like to see you happy, don't want to see you win. I keep them confused. I just do. People ask me questions all the time, and these are times that I probably lie and exaggerate stuff.
But you gotta watch out for people that's trying to take your place too. They got hyenas out here that's willing to eat that up to take your place. So you gotta be careful about the people that want your position. I always tell them that they might not have a good
Mhm.
position. So you don't know what you're putting out there, what kind of bait you're putting out there, and then they see that and then they move right on in. So you
Yeah.
gotta be careful. But it's to each his own. But they really have to be judgmental on what you put out there and what you're able to receive in the end. You know what I mean?
But I feel like if somebody can take it, then it was never mine anyway. So I don't worry about that kind of stuff.
That's a good way of looking at it.
And a lot of people call me nonchalant for that, but I can only control me. I cannot control another adult. So, and I want you to do whatever is going to make you happy. That's really, I really believe that. I want that person to do whatever it is going to make them happy. Long as I'm not hurting and you happy, we both happy. I'm happy. And if we
Yeah.
both happy, who's not happy?
Like you said, if it was out there and I can lose it, it wasn't meant for me to have. So I ain't worried about it.
That part, because I believe you can't take what's mine. So
Well,
you know what? So it's been an hour and 24 minutes. I really do appreciate Falon. I love your name as well. I wanted to tell you that, but I didn't want to make you smile too hard.
appreciate it.
No, it's definitely different. I like it. Does it mean anything?
Um, nah, it doesn't. It was a flan spelled different in Mexican is a sweet
Mm.
custard, right? So my mom was having me, my aunt, well, one of my cousins went down to the cafeteria and she saw that in the dessert part. And then when she came back upstairs and she needed a name for me, she changed it up to PHLON.
Oh, I love that.
It's
I
crazy,
feel
right?
like it was a story behind your name.
Yeah, she went down there and she named me, and
I felt
that's how
that.
I ended up with it. So in the beginning, it wasn't that many people with the name. So one of my
Mhm.
homeboys, friends out here, they were a couple, him and this girl, they named him my first name and my middle name and gave them the dad's last name. My son name is also my
They
first
took the
and middle
name
name.
from you?
Correct. Me and him was pretty cool, and she named it was
Oh,
crazy. Ebony named her son her first and my middle name.
what's your middle name?
Falon is my middle name.
Oh, your okay.
But
What's your first name?
she put Donturius.
Don who?
Don Julio. Donturius. So she gave him the first and middle name,
Don
which is
Terrius.
crazy. Yeah.
That's a
And
hood name, like Lucretia is.
it ain't I bet you won't find more than one person with it. I'm gonna be the first, my son is the
For
second.
real, Don Terrius?
Donturius. Yeah, I guarantee you won't hear that name nowhere else.
I'll make sure I tell you. You're gonna be the first person I tell when I hear it
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
All
It'll
right.
be a
So the
while.
last we want to end. I want to end the conversation talking about the what is now known as the alpha male. I want you to explain to the world what you consider, because we heard Kevin Samuels and we heard all these other people talk about the alpha male. This he got to have six figures, this that most men look up to. I want you to tell me, Mr. Falon, what you consider. First of all, I'll ask you this: do you consider yourself an alpha man?
Yeah. And it's not no monetary issue. That's one thing. If they seem like you gotta have some money, then nah, that's not it. Because alpha male, you gotta think. Alpha male can walk up in any room. That's my opinion of it. He can walk in any room, and the presence of him is gonna demand everybody's attention. Not demanding like on purpose, but you're gonna notice when that person walks in the room. It's gonna be something about it when that person enters the room that somebody's gonna pay attention to them. And you don't have to be the loudest person in the room. You don't have to be the richest person in the room. It's just gonna be something about that person that makes people
The aura,
gravitate towards an alpha male.
their aura.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. I have a friend. He lives across the street from my sister, and whenever I like come over there and I walk, he's like, I don't see no you like always walk with your head up high, looking straight in people's eyes. He's like, most of the women that come over here, they got their head down, they don't give no eye contact. He's like, you just walk with so much. He didn't say confident. I kept saying confidence. He kept
Mhm.
using another word. And if I could think of the word he used, I would tell you. But it was a negative uh connotation attached to the word. And I was like, no, 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 no. Why can't I just be confident? Why do I need to have my head down? What am I looking away for? Like I'm looking at where I'm walking and who I'm talking to. Why would I be looking down? I said, well, why would a woman be looking down walking over here? Like it made no sense to me. I'm gonna always give eye contact. But I can't think of the word he used, but you just made me think about it when you said when a person walks into a room, it's their energy, their aura. It's
Yeah.
like everybody just kind of like, oh, who was that? Like we talking about alpha man. I'm not trying to put myself in it, but when you made the comment, I just thought about it being said about me.
Of course.
So you consider yourself alpha male,
Yes.
and we talked about the aura. What else is attached to this guy?
To an alpha male,
Hmm.
it's gonna be reciprocated by respect. Um, people are gonna that's it. It's gonna be respect. It's gonna be a certain way that you carry yourself just across the board. It's gonna be an even playing field. So it's I think that's basically it.
All right,
Um,
I made notes about what I consider an alpha male, and I want you to tell me, since you are an alpha male,
okay.
whether they are correct, I'm on the right path, or I need to erase it off my list.
Go ahead.
First one, they don't cheat. They exercise their options.
That's true. They're not gonna cheat.
That's a true statement. They don't cheat.
Well, if you're holding yourself to that standard, there's no need to. You wouldn't do that because it's about respect at the end of the day too. So you're gonna respect those that respect you. I can only speak for myself. I won't. I don't. No.
So you just exercise your options.
I would. Okay. Well, it'll be like this. If I need to exercise my option, you'll definitely know that you might not be that option at the moment. That I will be pursuing
Mm,
something else. So you wouldn't have to consider it cheating. I would be honest enough with you and be like, this ain't working. I done gave you, a couple of shots at it, and I think you should look for something else. That's just that basic, simple as that. There's
dang,
no
y'all
need to cheat. All
hearts
you
for
gotta do
real.
is just tell a person.
All right,
Because
here's
what you gonna do, you can either accept it or say, okay, well, look, if I can't accept it, well, then I'm willing to stay here and while you're doing.
oh, let me say this to that. Like people, male and female, both will respect you more if you put yourself first. So like, and I mean, what I mean by that is if a person tell you they do not want to be with you, then you leave the situation. You don't keep trying to press the issue. And when you do keep trying to press the issue when somebody don't want to be with you or whatever the case may be, it has ended it. It is a reflection of how you see yourself. Because if you don't see yourself worthy of somebody who's choosing you, then there's some internal problem there. You should always choose yourself. So if somebody is done with you, great, bye, see you, and move on because there's somebody who was going to accept you and all your crud, and they're going to want you to stay in their life. So I just wanted to put that out there. All right, so here's another one. Do they consider themselves loyal if they come home to you at night?
See, your question is kind of like here, but then here. Yeah, there's two answers to that question. It means loyal. That means if they come home to you at night, meaning they can do something else. I mean, else in the daytime. Then loyal is loyal. It depends on what you're loyal to. Again, if that person knows that you're just loyal to that one person, then yeah, it doesn't have to be night or day. See, you remember the situation I was in. So it's
Yeah.
kind of hard for me to say that because I was loyal, because I was upfront, I was had
So you didn't cheat
access.
on none of your
of-
women?
There was no need to if you were telling the truth. Kind of like the Neo situation. Now, when I was younger in high school, yeah, I was
You
man, I was
remember the
running
first
rampant.
rule I told you to stay present?
Well, I'm just the comparison, you know what I'm saying, to who I used to be to
I'm
when
just
you're
teasing
becoming
you.
an adult.
Teasing.
You're
Yeah.
like, nah, let me just work this thing out because I don't have time to keep up with the. I got a lot going on. I don't have time to keep up with the what I done told her and this, but I can remember
Right,
my
right.
truth.
Let me tell
Yeah.
you where that came from though. So I was watching a podcast and they said that men cheat with their wallets. So if he's paying all your bills and he comes home at night, he's loyal to you. Now
Men
if he
trick.
out there paying somebody else bills, then he's cheating on you. What do
Well,
you think?
you remember on Ray when the wife was like, "Well, I ain't worried about nothing. He's taking care of home. I can
On
send a
what?
gift." On Ray Charles. When B had to send that package off, he thought he was taking
Oh
care of
yeah.
home and all that, and he was, "Oh, don't worry about it. I took care of B already. I sent the stuff to," you know what I mean? It's like,
That was
nah,
good.
that's an old way of thinking. Because a man can trick with his wallet too. You can have 6 of those house homes and be paying for everything and still be not loyal to nobody.
Yeah. If he got enough. I
Yeah,
definitely agree with that.
enough. Yeah, and you got some men that's
Um
sleeping on, couches and still doing the same thing, tricking off body parts, but nah, loyal
so
is loyal.
mm, So I made a list because these are things that I got from just watching and listening and reading and learning. So it
Mm,
says, what makes an alpha man valuable? And these are some things. Now you tell me if you agree or disagree. We'll say his social status.
No.
No. Okay. Physically fit, healthy.
That can be a part of it. Only
Uh,
because I work out every day, so it's in the morning, but it
okay.
can
Competent,
correct.
integrity, like that one.
True.
Here's a good one. Living in their purpose.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely true.
And then I put a note on the end. Other men respect them.
Definitely true. That
Oh,
would
how
be
about
one of
this
the
one?
highest
High
ones.
sex drive.
No,
No.
that does not make you an alpha male. No.
Hmm.
A high sex drive? So if I didn't have one, you can well, no, you don't have to have a
So
high
under
sex.
that, in
Because
parentheses,
guess
I
what?
had.
Some of your best men don't even have to have sex with you to have that
Listen
kind
to
of
this.
contact with you.
Listen to this, friend, because I
Go
think
ahead.
you touched on this. It says usually one woman can't meet their desires.
Can? Yeah. You can. You
Can't.
gotta find it.
Usually
Can?
one woman can't.
Can't no, but you can you can groom that one for your
Have you
wife.
ever groomed one woman to meet all your needs?
Um, I'm in the process of doing it right now. I have some of them like right now, yeah. That's
Some of them.
yeah, some of them that were almost there but didn't quite. But then I have,
Wait, what?
in
What do you
present
mean?
day,
Some?
a
We
per
talking about one woman. Wait.
yeah. I'm talking about just in the history of them all. Like, well, can one woman
Oh,
do it?
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
Like
one came really close.
you can get kind of like in a high percentile, like you're in your upper 90s. You know what I mean? And
You didn't
you
settle
can
for that?
no.
That's huge. In the 90s, it's huge. Men are never
Yeah, but
satisfied.
it's other factors that go along with that.
Like what, sir? That's why this conversation is being had.
Okay, like I said, the completion of that would be the patience, the understanding,
Okay, so they
and
can have all these other things if they don't have the patience.
not
So
and you're
those are the
missing
things that are
yeah,
of importance to you. That
correct.
if they don't have certain qualities, and I get that, like certain norms and values, if you don't have them, like
Yeah,
if
I
you know
need
character.
you close the deal if you have that package along with everything else you do. If I can get that, then I'm cool. I just cannot find someone to close that deal. You know what I mean? Because you got to give me something that you haven't given no other man, and that's gonna be hard to kind of find if you can't fulfill
Mm.
that higher 90, the rest of that 90%.
How do you determine the value of a woman?
Ooh. Um, it will start with confidence, our values within family values. That's very important. Um, what else would be and how she respects herself.
What do you mean? Give me an example.
Like, just don't be a pushover or, you know, uh, it's it's just certain things that I feel that a woman should traits that a woman should carry for herself, and that'd be like cleanliness, with the respect of your parents, like your mother. Some women I know now don't have any, like relationships with their mothers, their moms, their family, things and stuff like
Man, that's
that.
a
Or
huge one right there.
yeah, so it's like little things like that that will change your value as a woman.
Mm. What about her being able to submit?
Um, some women find that very hard, but
I'm
not
talking
lately.
about what you look. I'm talking about as far as
Oh
what you would find valuable in a woman if she does not
yeah,
have the
if
ability to
if
submit.
well, the submission thing is mm, if she can submit, it's also on the man not to take advantage of her submission. If you understand what I'm saying.
I
Like, just because you
absolutely
can get her to
understand.
do that, you don't want it to be now like, oh, like roasting and do things that you wouldn't do because you found out this woman is submitting to you. Then you don't want to be taking unnecessary actions towards this woman. You know what I mean? But if she can submit, submission is a great thing. That's like wifey position. She shouldn't do it to she shouldn't give her a whole bag. She can show it, but don't give your whole bag to just unnecessary dudes that you know that's, you know what I mean, just not worthy of your submission, if I'm saying that correct.
Yeah, see, the thing about that is they play on your mental and have you like the situation I was in with my ex. Like they play on your mental and they make you, I guess, believe that's the way these are going, and don't show no signs that they're not going that way.
But what I said earlier though, we can't be giving boyfriend wifey expectations. Like you
Yeah,
can't be
but if you're
giving.
dating okay, let's just think about this, right? If you dating somebody like I was for like, so if you dating him for a year and a half, and he, because it was his idea, and I was like, it don't matter, I'm not selling my house, I'll rent it out. But sure, I can see what it looks like living together because I'm a firm believer you should try it out before you decide, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. So I decided to do that and move in, and then I found out he was like, what I already knew he had OCD, but like I didn't know it was to the extent that he had OCD to where like I'm telling you, he can notice a piece of damn napkin or some dust somewhere, and it's like, yo, you saw that?
I am
I didn't. Let me tell you, whoo, I ain't never. His house to this day still looks like a model house. I'm not
okay.
making this up. So he has OCD like super bad. But for me, I'm a clean person. So that was kind of easy to conform to. Although I was just like, really? Like, ooh, the stuff you worried about is like irrelevant. You could just go clean it. Like if I left a cup in the sink or stuff like that, like would bother him to like where he has an attitude. And
Guess
I
what?
knew that, so me conforming would be I never left no motherfucking cups in the sink. You ain't had to worry about it. So when you wash your hands and you had the water spots around the sink, that shit used to drive him crazy. I
Crazy.
got in the habit of
So where do you
wiping
think
the
he got
sink
that
after I
from?
wash my hands. Hmm?
Where do you think he got that from?
Military.
Military? It wasn't his
Military
mother?
and the guy who raised him. The guy who raised him also had
It's fine.
OCD.
Yeah.
So that
It's fine.
you
So
true.
like
That's true.
mine's come from my mother, single parent household. The way she kept her house. When I was younger, it was like it was driving me crazy. But as I gotten older, that's the way I keep my house. I have women come over to the house and be like, "You sure your wife is? You don't have a girl and she's not out of town? Like, why your house look like this? Who decorated your house?" And it's like it's just the way my house is. You know what I mean? So
Very few
it
men
goes
keep
back on
a house like that.
the way
Yes.
you were raised. Or when I went, like I told you about counseling, they look at what your past was versus this person past, and they're gonna figure out why you guys are not working things out or compatible because of
Mhm.
they can look at your history. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he got that from somewhere and it just carried on. And I'm the same way. I'm probably not. I don't know how bad I am, but like I do have those traits.
You clean the water spots off the sink when you wash your hands.
Nah, but they teach you that in barber college to wash the sink out. So I have it in the last 10 years.
They
It
didn't wash
kills
the sink
me.
out when just because you washed your hands though.
Oh, no, but the shampoo bowl at the job, if I
Well, you're
see a
supposed to
spot in
wipe
there,
that out.
I'll
Yeah.
put that's what I'm saying. So now I'm like that at the house.
At the
Stainless
house,
steel steel sinks though shouldn't
no
have that
water
problem.
spots.
You should have no water spots in there. You know what I mean?
But I knew, so like that was easy to conform to because I like clean house too.
Okay,
And
well,
it's
what
the
wasn't then
model home. Hmm?
for you? What wasn't easy to conform to you?
So I kind of convinced him to get a dog. Right? He never
Mm,
did have pets. And can you imagine having a dog for somebody with OCD? Right?
yeah.
So we got a dog, which my baby is over there right now. I won custody.
I was just about to say you can't even get a dog in a relationship because somebody gonna want the pup, and somebody gonna be mad trying to take the pup just because they know you want
Uh,
the pup. I've
well,
heard that
based
story
off how
before.
he ended things, he was very, very easy going on whatever I wanted. But I didn't want anything. I just wanted my dog.
Give me the
I want
dog.
my dog, and I'm leaving.
So that's like my instructor when he said, "Just give me my clippers. You can have everything else."
Yeah.
See, you can relate.
But he was so like helpful in because I had to get the tenants out, and he came and helped me clean it and did power washing and anything. To this day, though, if I have anything that I need fixed, I can call him. Like, and Um,
So you still cool with your ex? That's good.
some people think that he wants me back and stuff like that, but he doesn't. Like we clearly have just a strictly friendly relationship, and
Yeah.
he has whoever he's seeing, and I had whoever I was seeing, but and we would still just like talk sometimes. If I ever need anything, especially housewise, because he's very good with his hands. So, um, but when I lived with him, that wasn't an issue, but it would became an issue when I got the dog. Because that means you have to clean up more on the extra after the dog. So if I'm laying around and the dog is free, because I let my dog free, he's not gonna be in no cage. And he's like, "You didn't see this?" I said, "Well, if you see it, just get it up." So we had like a couple of spats about that, but it was this issue that I've never had in my life, and that I believe came from his parent guy, which wasn't even his dad. It was somebody, a family friend his mom gave him to because she couldn't handle him until he went
Oh,
to the military. So that issue was he said that I loved on him too much. He's like, I've never known nobody that want to always hug up and be up under somebody. He's like, he actually said I love on him too much. He's like, I'm not used to that. It makes me uncomfortable. And
that's crazy.
recently on Valentine's Day, my mom told me that she didn't grow up with love with her dad and family. And when I kiss her on her forehead, which I do every time I see her, it makes her feel uncomfortable.
That's wild that you say that because my family's not too touchy feely. We just know we love each other, kill for you, do whatever it is. But I have to now be conscious of that with my daughters. Like maybe they need it. You know what I mean? Like she needed. I don't even remember touching certain family members. Like give me a hug or anything like that. But we'll go to war for them. You know what I mean? But I have to now get more into that because like my daughter, she might need it. My son, I probably hugged him like twice in life. And my other daughters,
How old is your
I,
son?
my son is like 29, 30.
You only hugged him twice in life?
Like, yeah, I mean, probably when he was younger, I might have showed him a little bit more emotion, like, hugging him, picking him up. But like actual hug, I probably, as an adult, I probably done hugged my son like twice. And even my daughters now, like, it's just weird. You know what I mean? Like, so
Well,
when
I
I hug her,
challenge you to stop that generational curse and be
that's why I said
affectionate with
I'm
your
gonna change
son.
it and be more affectionate
Sons
because
and daughters, they both need it.
I'll hug her and I'll like right now we have a certain hug. She'll hug me and we will go like she'll rub my arm and I rub her arm and that's it.
I
And
love
I'm
that.
like, but when she was younger, I saw a video last night on my Google pictures, and I'm like, yeah, we was more closer. You know, what I mean, as she gotten older, I don't know, it was just kind of weird. You know what I mean? So now, but I told myself last week that I was gonna be more open to being more affectionate towards her.
And I challenge you to do that because they need it.
Yeah,
Male and female, they both need it. It's a lot of adult men who, when he told me that, I looked at him. I said, "You high?" He was like, I'm not high." He's like, "I just not used to it." He's like, "Cree, I don't know how else to explain it. I'm just not. It makes me uncomfortable." And really, I'm telling. Well, I'm a hugger, so I hug everybody. Like I love on people. Period. This is what I'm saying. I don't know why anybody would not like me. So my kids, whenever they see me, and they both adults, both of them grown, whenever they see me, they hug me and kiss me on my forehead. Both of them. Whenever they leave me, they hug me and kiss me on my forehead. Guess who else I got doing it now? My sisters. I got my mom doing
yeah,
it because we really didn't have it growing up at all. So I
yeah.
knew I wish I had it. So I give it so that I can receive it. And I won't let nobody who come in my house, you will be hugging me. And you ain't gotta kiss me, but you will be hugging me. And I'm gonna hug you and embrace you because you'd be surprised how many people, like you just said, in families don't show any affection. They can say the words and they'll ride for their people, they'll kill for them, but they don't
I
show
never
any physical affection to their people. And I think we lack in that in our communities. Period.
because
Like people out here thinking you don't give a crap about them.
my cousin he lost his mom, and I think it was maybe going on 2 years now. And
Damn.
we hadn't spoke to each other for like a long period of time. And I missed, this the services and all that, right? And when I talked to him, I'm telling him, sorry about what happened. I feel for you, prayers, whatever. He was like, his first response was, just make sure you kiss her and hug her every day. Ever since then, I've been thinking to be different. You know what I mean? Like my actions, can't tell my mom's no. I've never told her no, but now it's just like it's guaranteed. Like, oh no, I'm on it. You know what I mean? So coming from him, and he had a smaller circle of family around him. I kept that in mind, especially being a later age and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I say I start processing that because it was different for me. It was different for real.
Mm.
So I'm gonna change it.
I didn't want to end it on a sad note. My goodness.
I
Let
know,
me
huh?
see if I can get something else. Hold on. Let me get another thought in there. Good gracious. You got me. I want to call my mama. Good gracious. Let's flip it real quick. We are going to end it because we're definitely not going over 2 hours because I need to go to bed. But let me just get something juicy out because this just got sad all of a sudden. Do you think it's a red flag if you like dating a girl for like a couple weeks or something, and the first time y'all have sex, you go down on her? I mean, she goes down on you.
Red flag?
Hmm.
Not with adults, especially at this age. It ain't gonna be the
What if she
first,
lick your booty?
and that ain't happening. That that's
What,
that's
what if she
you
tries to? What if she just tries to while she's giving you head, and then she go and slide
no
down there,
bueno,
and you feeling
no
so
bueno,
good that no.
no bueno, no, no.
So
Sorry.
if she tried though, would you think something of her?
I
Would you
I
consider that a
I,
red flag?
I promise you this. I will not see her tomorrow.
You gonna stop dealing with her?
Hey, let me tell you a little fun story. They had a club out here called Gigi's. I met this little chick. Right,
Mhm.
went to her house maybe twice, 2 or 3 times, and that third time she was like, "Turn over." I'm like, "Why she finna give me a back massage?" You know what I'm saying? I turned over, boom, man. She felt something wet on my feet. I'm like, "She's kissing my foot." And I was like, maybe she accidentally, man, she went up there and tried to grab me. I said, "Oh, whoa, whoa, no, ain't happening. Sorry."
Wait,
Uh,
she trying to grab what?
She tried to go there, and it never happened. I was like, "No, I'm good."
With
Never
her
seen her do.
tongue? With what? What was wet?
Yes, she tried to. Oh, she kissed my foot, but she
Oh,
tried to
she
kiss
kissed
me
your
there.
foot.
I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm cool."
You don't even want your ass kissed?
No, there's certain things a man should do, but that one right there is not for a woman to do. No, she,
So
nah,
where did
that's
this come
that's just
from?
me,
Because it didn't
fellas.
come from your
If that's
parents.
what you do, fellas, whatever you want to do, y'all go ahead. I'm just speaking on me and my experience. That's not for P, and it never will be.
Now
I'm
this is
just
the
me.
kind of way I want to end it on with smiles and joy. And I love the story. I thought it was going to be one of them P Diddy baby oil stories
Oh
for a minute
no,
when you said you felt something wet.
no! I remember she kissed my foot, but after that she started proceeding. I was like, "No, that ain't gonna happen."
But
You
you let your toes get sucked though.
no, I don't even like wet feet. So I got the whitest feet. My feet probably whiter than this, whiter than these lights behind me. I wear socks at all times. As soon as I get out the shower, I'm putting socks on. That's the only time my feet is wet in the shower. That's it. No,
So you don't
no,
go get them done at the spa?
never have. I had people try to do it and tell me to go.
Never? Oh my God, it's such a
Never
great
been.
experience. It's one of
A
my
lot of
favorite
people
things
been
to do.
telling me to. You know
How
what?
old are you?
I'm gonna make sure I go Monday. I got a young lady that works in the salon. She does it, so I'm gonna go try her out. See.
All right, you let me know. I'm gonna need some feedback on
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
how
yeah.
that wet feet experience.
Wet foot. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely looking forward to having you on tomorrow to the PM podcast. So
Oh
like
man,
with
I
Jay,
sure hope I can make it. And it's at 8:30, right? I'm
8:30.
gonna
Yeah.
make it my business to make it. I'm really even if I have to be on
8:30.
my phone.
I'm gonna make sure that he's here. He's
All right,
gonna be
go
here
ahead
on
and talk
time.
about your podcast tomorrow, y'all. Y'all
All
check
right.
this out. Take notes.
You're gonna love it, man. It's the PM podcast. We talk about travel, experiences with relationships, all the way from gun training to sports, whatever. But tomorrow we will be talking about relationships. We have a couple of topics already locked in. So, tune in. The YouTube at the PM Lifestyle Podcast is gonna have your host here, Cree. She's gonna be a guest on. You know what I mean? We're gonna be live on all platforms, which is Facebook. YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and what is the other one? TikTok. I gotta
I
use
don't know, but I
TikTok.
need to get on those other platforms.
Yeah, I'm about to go to
You
talk
gonna have
about
to help
something. I'm
me
about to
out,
get you on
brother.
there.
How
Yeah,
far
I
are you
will.
from Mesquite, Texas?
Mesquite, Texas. I used to live in Mesquite, so now right now probably like 30, 40. The way I drive, 30 minutes. If you
See,
driving, it's
I
probably
drive.
45. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
I'll be coming to
I'm in
Mesquite, Texas Saturday.
McKinney, Texas.
And
So
who?
McKinney, Texas. So it's like north.
McKinney.
Yeah, look it up. It's not that far.
Let me write that down.
It's a known suburb of Dallas. But yeah, definitely check us out, man. We're gonna have Jay on there. It's gonna be a real good episode. Creed, you're gonna love it. I promise
You don't know what I'm going to love.
you. I promise you, you're gonna love it.
Well, I enjoyed talking to you, friend. I appreciate you coming back on. And let me tell you, I was definitely only intending to talk for 1 hour. But what happens when you have good conversation, good energy, good guests, not bad to look at people, you tend to talk a little longer.
Well, thanks for having me on.
You
I
tend to talk
definitely
a little longer. So I want to thank all my guests, people who chimed in, who looked, who watched, who didn't really comment. It's okay. Y'all can catch me the next time. I know it's been a while, but I was literally out of time for a funeral. But I do appreciate you coming on, friend, and I'm sure I'll have you again. The next time I have you, though, I'm definitely going to have like a panel of people because um, I think you are in a space where you are doing the right things, and I need somebody who is like got one foot in and one foot out of life, just to dispute you getting your life together. But I do appreciate your maturity that you have shown, and I've learned a couple of things about you today. But I commend you on being a man of character, and I appreciate that. I really do. I wish a lot of men who's been doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results decide to change their lives for the betterment of their children and people who look up to them. I could tell you this: I went to the gas station at Walmart, and this dude, he had to be in his 50s, had his pants sagging, and I was just thinking to myself, "Oh my God, he
yeah,
is
that's
never
wild.
going to grow up." There are men in this world and women. I'm not just going to say men. There are people in this world who are still living like they were when they were teenagers. There is no
Yeah.
maturity. There is nothing changed. They are the same. And then they pretend for a while to get what they want. And then once they get you, now they take the mask off and they become who they always been. Don't
And
like
that's
that.
why we gotta keep doing this to inform these people. It's gonna be change.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If one person learn, I'm happy. If one person do something different, hell, if one person say, "Cree, I appreciate you." Like the last show I did about the women sticking together show, like I had a couple women like, "Man, I really needed that today." Like that means it's worth it for me. I don't get paid, although getting paid would be nice, but
Yeah. Mhm.
it means a lot to me to hear one person say that. So I commend you on still on doing what you're doing, and I can already see that you're going to be great in the future. And I'm gonna try to stay attached to you, so maybe I can just kind of learn, if nothing, because knowledge is everything. Learn
Got
something from you so that I can be better. And if you ever have any tips, I'm open for it, open
I got
ears
you. I
all the
got you.
day. So we're gonna end the note. I'm gonna let you say your goodbyes, and I think you already did, but I don't know why I'm still talking to you. But go ahead, give another goodbye, and then we're gonna cut this thing off and cut it short.
All right, people. It's nice being on the show, man. Check me out, Falon McKnight on Instagram, Twitter, the PM Lifestyle, Falon McKnight on what's it?
Twitch.
Facebook, Twitch is the PM Lifestyle. So or the PM Lifestyle podcast. You definitely can find me. So you can't go wrong. Either way it go, you will find me.
And as Cree 2-1 Boom always say, stay sucker free.
Yeah.
Peace. I'm out. And